Hello, everyone. It is 5:06 this Sunday night on November 6th, first weekend of the fall backwards. So we're back at the standard time. My name is Bryce Chalkley, and I got my main guy here, Billy Ray Mitchell. Billy, what's going on, bud?
It's good. The sun is down. It is pitch black outside at 5 o'clock. So the fall back in the Northeast is a little brutal, but I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to get basketball season rolling here.
Yeah, the seasonal depression is around the corner, but like you said, we got basketball to keep us busy. We got a special guest here today on this edition of the Sons of Saturday Athlete of the Week. To introduce our guy, when you go on his bio, it says he's the most versatile player on the Virginia Tech men's basketball team, which is an understatement when you look at his numbers last year. Not only did Justyn Mutts average 10 points and 8 rebounds last year for the Hokies, he also recorded 123 assists, 43 steals, and 34 blocks. I don't know about you guys, but I think most versatile is a little bit of an understatement there. Justyn Mutts is also a preseason second team All ACC selection and now a ACC champion. Justyn, welcome and congratulations on being the athlete of the week.
Hey, I appreciate you. That was a really warm welcome. I'm just happy to be here right now.
Awesome. We're happy to have you. Justyn, we usually start the Athlete of the Week's episode with the question of why did you choose Virginia Tech? But I feel like you answer that question every day with how much you love the school and how you're all Hokie all the time. What I will ask you, though, is has your experience lived up or surpassed your expectations transferring to Virginia Tech?
I would definitely say it surpassed any expectations that I might have had for the college experience in general. I had the opportunity to go to High Point University as well as, University of Delaware. And my experience there was, it was solid, it was okay. I was able to meet a lot of really good people who helped me grow a lot. But since coming to Virginia Tech, I'd say my life has changed in unbelievable ways. And it's really just been a blessing. A lot of that is due to the people that I've met and the relationships I've been able to build. I feel as though the relationships that I'll have and sustain for the rest of my life.
So, Justyn, speaking of potentially surpassing expectations, look, I know the season starts tomorrow. I know you guys are sick and tired of talking about it. Maybe you're not sick and tired of talking about it, but I have to ask, it was a special spring for us. It was a special spring for you. Is there a singular core memory that will always stick with you from last season? Is there one specific thing that stands out when you look back over the last year that's just passed you by?
Well, I'll instead of saying what I think everybody wants me to say, I think I'll throw it else. I'll say being 0-4, being 2-7, and then seeing how everybody was responding to us. There were people who still supported us, but at the same time, a lot of people did switch on us. A lot of people did turn on us at that point in time. When things aren't looking good, and we were all that we had. So I'll never forget that, and I'm keeping that feeling with me heading into this season because that could happen again. So just keeping my head down and just keep working.
Yeah, we certainly love the adversity that y'all showed throughout the season and obviously love the end result with y'all cutting down the nets in Brooklyn. As we move forward, though, to this year, Hokies tip off tomorrow night against Delaware State at 9 p.m. local time. How excited are y'all to get this year going? And has practice gotten more intense as we've gotten closer to game time, or is this kind of the point where we rest a little bit and we're getting ready for the long season?
Everybody's super excited because we all know what the work that we put in over the summer, waking up at 5 a.m., doing all the work. So aside from just wanting to, go do that, we just want to go play the game and just go have fun because, nobody was waking up with us at 5 a.m. It was just us. It was just us doing that. So at the end of the day, we just want to go play the game that we work so hard at, and not for the fans, not for anything else. We just want to play the game because what we want to do is just for fun. Everybody's gonna have their own perceptions and they're gonna have their own opinions on things and stuff like that. But we just gotta do our thing.
When you're waking up at 5 a.m. these days, what is motivating you more? That y'all are the defending ACC champions, or that you got knocked out against Texas in the first round? What is driving you every day right now?
Neither of those things. All of those things are in the past. I can't control any of that stuff. The fact that we're defending ACC champions, it really means nothing considering the fact that we lost half that team. This is a whole new team, 7 new players. So I think what's motivating me now is, just the good characters of the guys on my team, getting to go into the gym every single day and see them, see Hunter Couture, see Sean Padula, see Grant Basile, these guys that are in the gym every single day working, my friends. So I think that's what's motivating me more than anything, knowing that those guys are going to be there doing the same thing that I got to do, even though we don't want to do it. This is what we know we got to be doing to accomplish what we want to accomplish for this season. Any success that we might have had in the past is in the past. To the target on our back, that's due to something that we can't even, has no control on us right now, So it's a new life. It's a new world right now.
So Virginia Tech fans were a little bit hit with a little bit surprising news getting ready for basketball season, and Tech announced that you would not be able to suit up. 1-game suspension that came down from the NCAA. And what always frustrated me was anytime that anybody gets suspended for any type of reason, the school puts out a statement or the NCAA puts out a statement. You never hear from the athlete. And then if somebody hears it from somebody else, they might think, oh, was so-and-so not taking care of their business? Or they might go ahead and it might be a big deal. I just wanted to ask you specifically, what exactly caused this 1-game suspension coming up here for the Delaware State game?
Yeah, so over the summer, I had an amazing opportunity to go through the pre-draft process, and doing that, one particular event that I participated in, it resulted in me having a 1-game suspension. And I knew at the time that if I decided to do that event, that it could cause me to have some kind of penalty, from the NCAA. This was a conscious decision that I knew going into that, talking to my coaches, having the opportunity to make that decision for myself. But yet again, at that point in time in the summer, I had no idea if I was going to be coming back or if I was going to keep my name in the pre-draft process. So looking back now, the experience was 100% worth it, and I would probably have done it again. There were other players who did other events over the summer who were missing more games than just one. So I feel blessed to have had that experience, and now to be back here at Blacksburg and only be missing 1 game. I'm going to be there front and center cheering my team on tomorrow. I can't wait. We got a really talented team. Delaware State also has a really talented team, so I think it'll be a good match. I think it'll be a good matchup. I'm excited for everybody to see what we have to offer, and I'm excited for my first game on Thursday.
So, quick question on that. I love that they made this rule change. It's one of the things the NCAA has done that I do like, is allowing you all to go through that pre-draft process. Can you tell me a little bit? You said you learned a lot from it. I'm sure you met some folks. Tell me just a little bit about what you took away from that experience.
I think I was able to grow so much, not only as a basketball player, but just as a person. Being able to meet some of those guys who were also going through the same things, who went on to do much more. I decided to come back, but a lot of people decided to keep their name in, and so just having the opportunity to meet all those people, meet and talk with different organizations, and being able to walk into those doors, that's an experience that a lot of people will never have, and for that I'm super grateful. Everybody's going to have their own opinions and perspectives on different things and stuff like that. But all I can do is, be myself and just continue to live my life, Yeah.
So on the upside here, you'll have the opportunity to see someone else get some meaningful minutes. Went to practice a couple weeks ago, saw a lot of fresh faces. As you mentioned, it's a completely new team. Who are some of the guys that we should know about this season that people may not be talking about? Or who would you say, if you were giving out a Rookie of the Year trophy, who do you think is vying for that spot? Who do you think is going to take a lot of people by surprise?
So your question specifically, what are you at? What's the question? You want to know who the Rookie of the Year is in my eyes, or do you want to know
who are some guys that Virginia Tech fans may not know? I know you're preseason second team All ACC. Who's preseason Virginia Tech Rookie of the Year? Who's on the ballot there?
Well, I'll stray away from saying anybody that Tech already knows. I feel as though we got a lot of really good players that haven't had the chance to really show who they are yet. For example, I'm thinking Lynn Kidd off the top of my head. I think Lynn Kidd he's set up for a great season this year just through the work that he's put in over the summer. He's probably been one of our most consistent guys, one of our hardest workers. He's worked super hard. I think him, as well as guys like Malaja Poteet, another really strong big guy. Grant Basile transferred from Wright State, and our freshman class is really talented as well. So I think we got a lot of guys that are set up to have a great season this year. I could go down the list and just name all these guys. I know what they do. I see them every single day. I know their games. I know how they're carrying things. So I'm just excited for everybody else to have a chance to lay eyes on them. For sure, I think those are off the top of my head, those are the 3 that I'm excited to I'm excited to root for this year.
Awesome. So as we move past game one, Delaware State, and the opportunity for you to be the one man hype squad for all your boys, there's a lot of exciting games on the schedule. The ACC schedule, the conference games. There's a couple tournaments I think y'all are playing in. I'm sure y'all are very much taking a game by game, week by week approach. But is there any matchup that you're particularly excited about, or any place that you really enjoy going and playing at?
Yeah, like you said, I can't really think too far ahead right now. I think everybody watching the show right now probably wants me to say UNC. They probably want me to say Duke. All these games we got coming on down the road. But again, those games are down the road. The only game that I can focus on myself is Lehigh. That's my first game on Thursday. And then the next game, William and Mary, the next game I'll be able to participate in. But at the end of the day, I think looking too far ahead was the reason why we went into that crazy losing streak last year. By not focusing on the task at hand, by not focusing on this individual play, you know what I mean? By getting caught up in social media and everybody's perspectives and stuff like that, by allowing that to impact our team, I think just staying present and just focusing on the things that matter, that's the only thing that you can control. And by focusing on the controllables, there's no limit to how far this team could go.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect answer there. I know y'all were able to achieve, an amazing feat last year, winning the ACC. And as we reset for this season, and potentially, I believe it will probably be your last for Virginia Tech. What are some of your individual goals here, and what are some of the team goals that y'all have for each other?
Yeah. So I'll just speak on my basketball goals for this year. I think definitely to showcase what I can do on the defensive end of the ball. That's where I think I get most excited, most activated, most energized, and then that'll translate to the offensive end. But I think for myself, definitely defensive player of the year. I feel as though I know the work that I put in. I know how hard I work, but I'm a little bit nervous with that too because we got Hunter Couture in our team, and he's probably even more gritty and much more of a harder worker than I am on the defensive end. I can't take that away from him. So I think that'll be a real good contest right there to see who's able to do that. But a lot of times he's the one catching the the toughest matchup on the other team, and he does a great job of doing what he has to do every time. He can guard 1 through 5 easily. So I think if I'm trying to win Defensive Player of the Year, I think that's my biggest competition right there, and I love it. So I'm excited for that. Team goals absolutely would be to win the regular season first and foremost, and then go on and do it again. 4 games in 4 days. That'd be the next goal. Get us another big ring. And then I think the one thing I have not done since I've been in college is make a run in March Madness. So that's the ultimate goal. Make a big run. Final Four. Why not us for the Natty? You know what I mean? Why can't it be us? Because everybody doubted us for the ACC last year. So there's no everybody's doubt and their opinions and perspectives they can keep them to themselves, but they won't. They'll be on social media per usual. But I think our team this year is taking a different approach, even in that sense of not even looking into that. You know what I mean? So people, never mind. I won't get into that. But yeah. So just doing that, just focusing on the things that matter.
I definitely like the stay present approach, but I will say now that you got that ACC championship ring, it's going to be pretty lonely if it doesn't have another one, a buddy to go along with it. So we're definitely rooting for that.
Can I show you? You want to see?
Yeah, that would be great.
Let's see the bling.
I got some confetti in here, so I got to be careful when I open it. Yeah.
Woo!
It's huge. So I can't wear it too often. But yeah, no, this mine. It's beautiful.
So I've heard the stories about how you guys were getting all the confetti off of the ground after that. What was your technique to get the confetti?
I honestly, that was my first time being in an environment like that, seeing confetti fall like that, and I didn't know if I was allowed to take it. Yeah.
No, you got to give it back.
Right. Looking back, that sounds goofy, but yeah, I didn't know if I was allowed to take it, but I did sneak me a little handful. But I think my problem was that when we all got back, there was like the parade. Everybody was there for us. I threw all my confetti up in the air. I was a little bit too excited, and I didn't have any. But I was able to get this the other day from the ACC Media Day. So Now I got something I can keep.
So one thing, you opened yourself up to this world. This wasn't on the thing. So I just want to ask you a question about your room, which
Yeah.
we can see here on the video. So I see a guitar. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know there was a musical side to you. Is that for aesthetic, or are you you a guitar player?
Originally, it was meant for me to, pick up a new hobby and start doing that, but I was trash. And with any new skill, you have to invest time and like energy into it, and I just didn't stick with it. If anybody on the Sunday Saturday podcast right now is a good guitar teacher, I would love to, hit me up. Hit me up. I would love to do that. But I got a keyboard here. That's for aesthetic. Oh, this is for aesthetic too. I think Hokie Nation would like this one. This is the
Oh, so how did you? I'm sure everybody wanted that. How did you? End
Wait a
up?
minute. You were worried about taking the confetti.
Yeah.
You have. Okay. Go on.
Very true. Very true. No,
Uh,
I mean after the game, they gave it to us, and nobody ever asked me for it back after I was the one that had it. So I just got everybody to sign. Yeah, now that's forever gonna be here, so for sure.
any other mementos or walk away withs from that time or your time at Tech?
Mm. I don't know. Nothing off the top of my head that I can show you guys. No, I think pretty cool. I'll never open it. It's like I think this is bourbon. It's whiskey, but it has like the ACC champions on there. It's like customized for us. I think this is
Wow,
I think that's pretty dope for sure.
that is nice. That is nice. Oh man,
I
go ahead.
love that you have those mementos. I love things that you can't buy.
For sure.
You can't go buy that ticket. You can't buy that ring. You can't buy that confetti. That's just it wouldn't mean anything to anybody else, and it's so special to you. I love that you kept those things. I'm a lot like that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a hoarder, but I'm doing a better job of letting go of stuff. But I think
my wife lets me keep like a box. Like I have one shoe box that I have like my stuff like that. Like I have confetti from Times Square for New Year's because I was like, I'm never gonna be here again. I put that in my pocket. My friends make fun of me for that, but I love stuff like that. It's cool when you look back on your life. Like this is some of my special moments.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't fit it all into one little box. Kudos to you. That's tough. I can't do that.
Yeah, you got some bigger things there. The last question I'll ask you, and then I'll hand it back to Bill here. You mentioned basketball specific goals when I asked you that question, and I know you are someone who also emphasizes education and emphasizes giving back. So I just want to take this opportunity. Do you have a personal goal that you want to accomplish outside of basketball in your last year at Virginia Tech?
I think the main thing for me this year, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job so far, is just engaging more with the community. I view myself as a regular person, just like anybody else, but I feel that the community views me in a different light, especially the youth, specifically the youth. And in that, I find that I could be a big resource to them, and just and the fact that they view my position, a basketball player at Virginia Tech, so highly. I feel as though I could really be a big resource by just giving back and just talking to them, having those conversations. I've had an amazing opportunity. It's been such a blessing for me to be able to get in contact with the West End Center up in Roanoke. I love those kids. I have a great time hanging out with them and just talking to them and just having little conversations with them. I remember for myself, when I was, middle school age, maybe a little bit younger, I had a mentor. I had somebody around me who was able to help guide me. I could ask them questions, stuff like that. And for me, it's such a beautiful thing for me now to be able to do that for the next generation. I want the best for them, and I know they want the best for me. So I just want to continue to do that, continue to engage with the community, not only the youth, but also build a good network for myself here for the future. I can see myself coming back here at some point and starting a life for myself. I would love to be on the coaching staff here at some point. I want to be the next Ace Custis. He's a legend. I'm trying to take notes and see what I got to do to get there next. So I think that's definitely a huge goal for me for this year, just networking and building my brand more and more in this area.
Justyn Mutts just can't leave Blacksburg. He's gonna be in Blacksburg. Gonna be in Blacksburg forever. I love it.
Who knows?
We got so I'm glad you this transitions well into my last question before rapid fire. NIL was kind of a world that nobody knew what it was, nobody knew how it was going to work, nobody really knew how people would take advantage of it. And something really exciting going on in Honhurst as well. Elizabeth Kitley and Georgia Amore launched a podcast that they're going to be doing weekly. It's called The Queens of Castle, for those of you who don't know about it. So go check that out. Go subscribe. Really, really cool, where they're just going to get together, sit down, and talk through their season. I want to ask you, what in this NIL world, after I think it's year 2 or year 3, what have been your takeaways from NIL? What has gone well? What do you hope goes better? What advice would you give to players that are entering into college athletics and how to manage it? Just kind of want to get your perspective.
Well, personally, and I guess I'll answer the advice question first for future, athletes going into this area. I think the main thing that you need to work on is just building your brand, navigate that space first of trying to build a name for yourself and build a brand for yourself that is actually, it connects with you, it relates to you. Because I feel as though brands and other businesses are going to reach out to you based on what your brand is, based on who you are and what you're standing in the community. So if I have no social media, I'm not saying social media is the way to go. Social media most definitely has its downsides. Absolutely. I could go on about that for a long time, but I'm not going to. So, but in the NIL space, social media it's almost necessary, to have a social media presence and to have a decent sized following. So for the future athletes heading into this space, I feel that that's one thing that you should focus on. You shouldn't build your life around social media, but don't be afraid to have it up, to post things every now and then that are relevant to your life and to who you are. I think that's the main thing, but also be careful because there's a lot of snakes. You can't trust everybody. I'm blessed and extremely grateful to have such a supporting cast around me. My family is extremely helpful for me as I navigate this space, as I navigate reading these contracts and things like that. But you never know, because when money becomes involved in any sense, people tend to look out for their own best interests as well. But I feel grateful. I'm in an area where there are people who really do care about us, who do want our best interests as well, and they will do what they have to do to make sure that we're not being taken advantage of. But don't just go for the first thing that you see. Don't just jump into anything just because it's available. Because there's better things down the line. Be careful for yourself and be smart.
Fantastic answer and fantastic insight. We're going to move into rapid fire. It's our last segment here with you, Justyn. Really appreciate your time. And I'm not sure if you've gotten the opportunity to check out Whitley's Peanut, which they are selling in Lane Stadium. But Whitley's Peanuts is who is sponsoring this podcast. Whitley's Peanuts is a family-owned business that has produced the finest gourmet peanuts for over 35 years. It is operated by 3 generations of Hokie graduates. So as you can see on the bottom, use code SOS for 10% off your first order at whitleyspeanut.com. So moving into rapid fire, I'm excited about this one. This is a question that has been posed by us. It's been posed by Justin Robinson last year, and it's a fun exercise to go through. But your Mount Rushmore of Virginia Tech basketball, I won't even say players, people in the Virginia Tech basketball community, who is on your Mount Rushmore? Feel free to include yourself.
Mount Rushmore, though, I gotta put Coach Young up there. Coach Young definitely that's a GOAT right there. It's a legend for sure. And then you gotta put the next GOAT. You gotta put Ace Custis on there for sure. He has to be in there. I think if we're talking about famous Hokies through the basketball lens, I think you also got to put in Del Curry just for the simple sake of it's Del Curry. You know what I mean? And then I've had that amazing opportunity to get more into the history of Tech, learn about I know we've won 2 NIT championships in the past. And if I'm going to put one GOAT on there from the one team, in Ace Custis, I think I also have to put in the other one. And I think his name's Alan Bristow. I think he was the first person at Virginia Tech to get his number retired. I think he's our all-time leading scorer. He has a single game records in a bunch of different categories. So I think Mr. Bristow, all respect to you. I had a amazing opportunity to meet him at our tip-off banquet a couple of weeks ago. Outstanding person. So I think those would be my 4 on the mountain for sure.
Love that you're taking the time to dive into the history of Virginia Tech basketball. It's really awesome. Not something you have to do, not something that a lot of people do. So that's really, really cool to see. And I know we just asked a question in a number of 4. I'm going to ask another 4 question here. If you could have dinner with 4 people, dead or alive, who are you taking and where are you going to eat?
That's tough. I feel like I'm going to get judged for my answers here.
Probably.
I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough. I wish you would have gave me this question a little bit ago. I could have thought about it.
I couldn't, dude. No, I need the immediate. I need to see you think through it.
Respect. I don't know, because it's everybody I'm thinking they were a good person, but then they also have their what's it called, scandals or whatever, where it was the allegation.
You don't have to say that, you're saying this is the arbiter of the perfect person. You could sit down and have dinner with somebody that's not a great guy just to understand why they weren't a great guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's up to you. You could also take somebody who you'd like to take on a date and they have to go with you for that 1 hour. So who knows?
I really don't know. Okay, I'll think. Let's say Abraham Lincoln. I would be curious to have a conversation with him. Just to have a conversation. I think that would be really interesting. I would also, this is not a hot take, so I'm gonna say it. I would really want to have a conversation with Jesus as well, in his human form. I would want to talk to him and gain just whatever I would gain from that conversation. I feel like there was a lot that I could take away, a lot of questions that I have. For sure. I think that would be really significant. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this on you. Yeah. So I think, those 2 so far.
Jesus and Abraham Lincoln.
Jesus, Abraham Lincoln.
Carpenter and the president.
Yeah, I think, Jesus would be to my right. Abraham Lincoln doesn't have to be my left. He can just be somewhere disabled.
Getting real specific here.
Yeah.
Okay. You got 2 more.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay. I want Buddha. I want Buddha there as well.
Okay.
I have a lot of knowledge I could gain from him as well. As a person, just how to navigate, this existence that we're in right now. There's a lot that I could gain from that conversation. And then, and then I'll say the Dalai Lama. I'll say the Dalai Lama. No, I don't want to say the Dalai Lama. Nothing against the Dalai Lama. Nothing against him. I don't think he'd be fourth. I don't think he'd be. Who did I say already? You know what? And then I'll say my dad. I'll take my dad too, because I think he'd be awesome at driving conversations, and he would ask some questions that I wouldn't really think to ask off the top of my head. So I'll say those 4.
Wow. I got to tell you, if you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking of judging Justyn Mutts for those 4, you got to have something wrong with you. That's a pretty solid 4. Where are you guys going to eat?
Where are we going to eat? Where are we going to eat? We're going to, no. I almost said Kabuki, but I don't.
I was ready for it. I knew it.
Abraham Lincoln going to hibachi would make his brain explode. He'd be like, "What do you guys do? You guys put food on this metal thing and do a show?" It's completely out of, I can't imagine what he would think of hibachi.
He would enjoy it. I would just want to take them somewhere where the food would come out not at all. It would take a long time for the food to come out. Just there and just have a conversation in a relaxed setting. But it's I need a round table so we can all talk to each other. That's why Kabuki wouldn't work.
Right.
I can't give any shout outs to restaurants out here because none of them sponsor me. So that's a problem. I think we should.
That's a potential opportunity. So if you are a guitar teacher or a restaurant and you're looking for an opportunity, here it is. This is your chance.
This would have been the chance to shout out your restaurant, but I can't do it because you didn't want to.
You will bring Jesus Christ to your restaurant. That is the sell.
That's the
So
sell.
we need to, on a side note, we need to call Kabuki because that place has brought more talent to Blacksburg from recruiting visits. That's where I went on my recruiting visit when I was trying to play golf. When I went to play golf for Virginia Tech, they know what they're doing there. They're closers.
That's right.
I went with Darren Buchanan on his visit there. I had a good chance to just have a conversation there, but that was good. I really don't know. I don't know where we would go. McDonald's. McDonald's is where we're going. Joking. No, I don't know. I really have no idea where we would go to eat, but it would be some good food. Give me a nice New York strip.
What a journey! What a journey! Go ahead, Bryce.
I need to change my answers. Mine aren't as grand as that. Moving right along though. So, I feel like we read your stats earlier. To use a cliche, you're kind of a Swiss Army knife there on the basketball court. You can really do it all. Probably play all 5 positions. Who is someone that you model your game after? And I kind of want to mix it up on you. I want you to give us a basketball player and then a non-basketball player.
Model my game after. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. But I think part of me models my game a little bit after Draymond Green. I think his role on the team is so valuable. You can't really, when you can't have a winning program without at least one player that's crazy. You can't.
That's the right answer, though, Mutts. Like I was wondering if you were going to say it, but that is the answer. So that's your hip too.
Yeah, like that. You think
that team needs him?
Yeah, truly. They wouldn't be the team that they are without him. And I think in that you can hate him or you can love him, but you got to respect what he's able to do for the basketball team. You know what I mean? So I think I really respect his role. But then you have other teams that have. This guy is not somebody I model my game after at all. But I think he's the same kind of figure to his team, like Patrick Beverly. I think he's been on a lot of winning teams as well, and he's able to provide that same energy that is just so necessary. You know what I mean? You need somebody to be that. And
when are you gonna say my guy? When are you gonna say the ultimate team guy, Marcus Smart from Oklahoma State, who you're playing this year?
Exactly. Yeah, Marcus Smart definitely is one of those players that you need. You need them, and the Celtics aren't the Celtics without Marcus Smart. So somebody who doesn't care to make it ugly. They don't care to make it ugly, to get gritty, to get dirty, like stuff like that. Like somebody who doesn't care, and I think I take a lot of value on that, and I don't mind doing that for my teammates because they're my brothers. I love them, so I'll do whatever for it. And for the city of Blacksburg, I feel like Blacksburg loves me so much that I'll go out there and I'll do whatever just because.
The city of Blacksburg, not the town, not the municipality, the city of Blacksburg.
What's the difference between a town and a city?
I mean, I think of cities, you got to have some sort of skyscraper, right? That's just me. Because I'll actually fall on the sword. I'm going to get a lot of crap for this. But I remember when I came to Virginia Tech, and I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey. I know you're a Jersey guy too. Mm-hmm. And you used to hear people say, they're like, oh, I'm going to the city this weekend. You're like, oh, you're going to the city? Where you hopping on a plane? They're like, no, I'm going to Roanoke. I'm like, you're going to the city?
I guess.
No, you are going to Roanoke. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the difference between a town and a municipality and a city is. It's a good question.
I think just for the people within Blacksburg, I think they give me a lot of energy. They reciprocate that I put out, and I just make them do more on the court. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you said a non-basketball player that I model my game after?
Well, I guess I meant more like you admire like their temperament or their work ethic or someone you kind of look up to that's not in basketball.
For sure. Well, I would definitely say my dad. I definitely learned a lot from him growing up, just about how to just be a good person, how to put out good energy. Even if that energy is not always being reciprocated, how to just always just be who you got to be and just do what you got to do, how to work hard, how to be selfless, for other people. Once you reach a certain age and a certain point in life, it's really not about you anymore, And I think I learned that from him at a young age, and that's stuck with me, I think, and just the way I approach life. I think Coach Young is a big mentor for me too, as well. Just about because I don't know if you guys have the opportunity to meet Coach Young. He's an amazing person. So I think those are two role models for me for sure.
Perfect segue into our next question. So Mike Young is certainly on the Mount Rushmore of Virginia Tech basketball. He's he's working his way into being on the Mount Rushmore for Virginia Tech, just period. What is your favorite Mike Young moment?
Favorite Mike Young moments. Favorite Mike Young moment. I think, I don't know. I think for me, more so, I think just having the opportunity to get to know him before I knew him, like in the recruitment process. I mean, like I remember talking to different teams and stuff, talking to a lot of assistant coaches and different people. But I do remember during that recruitment process, Coach Young was calling me like every single day, and we were just having conversations on the phone. We were talking for like an hour each time, just getting to know each other, developing a relationship outside of basketball. And I feel as though once I stepped foot on campus here, unlike how it is at a lot of other schools where they're going to show you one thing and then you get there and you already committed, they can be whoever they want to be. Coach Young was exactly the person that he said he was. He did exactly all the things that he told me he was going to do. So you're trusting this team, this coach, or this school with your future, the next couple of years of your life. And you have to, and for me, going through that on blind faith, because it was COVID, I couldn't even come visit. I couldn't shake his hand. I couldn't meet him face to face. So just to be able to meet him and develop that relationship and have it be so authentic. And then when I came here, have it be, exactly what it was, you can't ask for anything more than that,
Justyn, aside from wearing overalls to football games, what is your favorite thing to do at Virginia Tech that is not basketball related?
Not basketball related, sleep. No, I'm joking. Something I started getting into more this year that I will admit that I'm absolutely terrible at is golf. There's the Blacks. I'm not going to shout them out either because they won't sponsor me. So there's a couple golf courses out here that are really nice that I just, especially when the weather gets nice, it's just a nice vibe just going out there and just, being on the course, either by myself or with my friends and stuff like that. So I just enjoy that. That's something that I got really into this year that I'll probably keep doing.
Thanksgiving.
I don't think I can help you with the guitar, but
yeah.
I'm willing to help you with the golf game if you're looking for someone to offer. We can make that happen. I know Billy needs some help too, so we could definitely have some fun out there.
Respect. The last time I went, I broke the stick. I swung it and
broke the stick.
And not only did I miss the ball, but I saw like the whole club part went flying. It's so crazy because I thought it was the ball at first. I was like, oh yeah, I really hit it that time. Did not hit it. So
we got Thanksgiving coming around the corner. Do you have a specific favorite type of food to eat on Thanksgiving and something that shouldn't be on the plate for Thanksgiving?
I'll say what shouldn't be on the plate. Any type of casserole. I'm sorry. And I know I might catch a lot of heat for that. Any type of casserole does not belong on my Thanksgiving plate. But if you do bring me a plate and there's casserole on it, I'll be grateful and I will eat it anyway. But that's not the point. I think my favorite food for Thanksgiving would be stuffing with some gravy on it, little macaroni and cheese with some gravy. I put gravy on my whole plate for Thanksgiving, so it's right. I don't want to.
So does Bill.
As you should.
Yeah, yeah.
Gravy is the best. I want to preface that casserole statement by saying I personally have not had any good casseroles in my life, so I'm not closed off to casserole. But I'm just saying the ones that I've had have not been good. But I would try one if you said it was always.
But I gotta tell you, you are covering all your bases. You are very, very politically correct, making sure nothing could possibly be misconstrued. I know somebody's going to do it because they do it with everything that we do, but good luck finding some way to step away from this interview and not love Justyn Mutts more than you may already do. So go ahead, Bryce.
If someone wants to DM me with some casserole, I'm with it. What'd you say?
Who would have thought that about casserole could potentially stir the pot more than anything said in the last 40 minutes?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
So who would have thought that casserole would have stirred the pot more than anything else?
Oh, well,
you had that answer ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something that I felt strongly about for like a long time. But I haven't had a casserole in like a while. I guess that's why, because I had a bad stigma about it. But I don't know. Like I see how it could be taken the wrong way, because I know a lot of people do consider casserole like an essential part. Like what are some big casseroles that people make?
Green bean casserole is literally my favorite thing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Like, I don't know. I would try it. I would try it.
I don't know.
I
will say this.
Go ahead, Bryce.
Justyn's gonna have like one or two people offer to teach him how to learn, like teach him a few strings on the guitar. Justyn, you're gonna have like 15 casseroles outside your apartment door. I'm rooting for it, because we're definitely gonna put this out there. We're gonna challenge Hokie Nation. This is a challenge to you. This man needs a casserole that he is proud to eat and that he enjoys. So you make that happen.
Like one that's good. Like please, Hokie Nation, don't bring me any mid casserole, because like me, that person, I'll try it. I'll try it and I'll make it seem like it's not that bad. But if I don't like it, I'm not gonna like finish it, you know. So if you want me to try your casserole, I will try it, but don't watch me eat it. I'll eat it later.
Okay.
On my own time. Like, my own judgments about it in peace.
Oh man, that's great. Moving right along here. This is actually a question that my wife wanted to answer. Who loves you, by the way. She has you on your all hype on the. She has you and Ahmed Hill on her all hype team.
I said hello.
What is one thing? I will. What is one thing that people would be surprised to learn about you?
About me? I think I'm really big into mental health. I think that's a well-known thing about me at this point. I think I advertise it relatively often, but I think that's something that is super serious to me. I think I'm not into things like I'm not into physical things that much. Like I have a lot of things here. I have a hat here, but like the physical things don't mean very much to me at all. I think it's more so about like the concepts of things, like what it really means. Like a relationship is deeper than anything else. I think that's something that people don't know about me. I'm not real big into that stuff. I'm also not going to be on Twitter this season, so I want to at me at stuff and talk trash. I won't see it.
How are people going to send you their casserole recipes and their guitar lesson times? Is there a better place to reach you?
If you write me a letter, you can send it to Han Hurst and with your recipes, and then I'll try them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pen pals. You're gonna. I'm telling you, Justyn. You. I don't know if you wanted to sign up for this, but you're signing up for pen pals, guitar lessons, and casserole.
you're giving us homework right now.
That's crazy.
Last three here I got for you, and then we'll let you go. If you could have a superpower, any superpower, you can't use it in basketball, but just for life, what would your superpower be?
Well, I think what you said there about not being able to use it in basketball changes it a little bit, because originally I was gonna say super speed, but I think if I can't use it in basketball, I would definitely say the ability to fly. I think it's crazy cool. You can go anywhere you want to go, and you're flying. So I think that's like one of the most pure experiences of life right there. Just pure air out there. I would do that.
And you didn't answer it, even though I prompted you to answer it. So I'm gonna ask again. Celebrity crush, Justyn Mutts. They can't hit you in the DMs because you won't be on Twitter. But who is your celebrity crush?
This is the only time of this interview that I'll intentionally be like political. I'll make an answer that can't be nobody can really argue, and I'll say Beyonce.
Okay, there's no arguments there. No arguments there.
She doesn't get an invite to dinner though.
No, I'm not that interested in getting to know her. I was not gonna lie. She seems like a cool woman. She seems like a cool lady. She seems cool. But I mean, she wouldn't be in my top 4 all-time people I want to talk to.
I mean, yeah, she's not Jesus. I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
No.
What are we talking about?
Her over the Dalai Lama, though. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question that we have for you.
Got a pecking order now.
Yeah.
Last question, Justyn Mutts. I know you mentioned possibly being in the Blacksburg community. I know you mentioned that mental health is really important to you. I know that you have 15 degrees from different schools, universities. You've done about as much school as anybody can possibly do. So I want to know, what do you want to do when the ball stops bouncing? What do you think you're going to do as a professional?
Yeah, I would love to come back to Virginia Tech and coach. That'd be ideal. That'd be the perfect, scenario. Not only doing that, but at the same time, working to complete my PhD. I want to be the real Dr. J. That's the goal. That's something that nobody can take away from me for the rest of my life. I'll be Dr. J, and that respect will always be there. I feel as though I'm halfway there, and at this point, why stop now? You know what I mean? So, I think that coaching. And then after I'm done, coaching and doing all that, I want to work with the youth. Again, I want to do all I can to start some youth organizations that I can really just, I can benefit them. I have a lot of ideas through my 15 degrees. I feel like I've been able to pick up some different useful tools and resources that I could use to produce some really good organizations and programs and stuff like that. So I want to be able to take those ideas and that innovation and combine it with the resources that I've been able to develop, and to really be able to provide, something extraordinary for the young people.
Justyn, we appreciate your time. We are wishing you the absolute best in this basketball season. Thank you for a politically correct, fun, all over the place interview, and we are looking forward to watching you dominate in Castle this season.
Thank you. It'll be fun.